Welcome back to Etc. Podcast. I'm your host, Victor, along with my co-host, the man that needs no introduction, the nonchalant 6-foot savant, the inspiration behind Ice Spice Curly Top. You're wrong, bland, and can't come. He's long, tan, and handsome. They should call this man John Morant the way he runs the sticks. Never seen him in court, but he always throws the hammer down. Men want to be him. Women want to be with him. The Costa Rican Don Dada, Mark Chevalier, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. I love the introduction. I'm not going to lie to you. I had my eyes closed before I even knew what you were doing. So I was like going like this. And like, as I kept hearing you go, I opened my eyes. I was like, where is he getting this shit from?
I was going in.
I was like, yo, this is no
Off top?
I was like, off the top of his head. I'm like, there's no way. Because then I started hearing things that actually related to me. I was like, wait, why did he like all of a sudden just somehow get like all these perfect things about me? I'm like, oh, damn. I'm like, I feel a little like
This boy
I needed to do some research. I'm like, damn. Like, where's he getting all this from?
Yeah. I had prepped that beforehand just because there's this podcast we'll see clips of and watch from time to time. It's called Throwing Fits. It's like a clothing podcast. They bring on like people that own brands or like rappers that have like good style and shit like that, and they'll just talk about shit like that. Nice. But what initially like brought a lot of people's attention towards it was that every time they introduce their guest, they go in like that, and that the guy does way better than I just did. Like he's getting really good at it, but like I feel like I did a pretty good job.
I thought it was a good job. I didn't even know what was happening. My eyes were closed half the way. I was like, I started hearing more stuff, and I'm like,
you start levitating.
I was like, hey, you good? What's going on?
Yeah, but I was like, let me see if I could. It worked. It worked out perfectly.
Yeah, it did. I was, like I said, I was already about to give myself like a cool, just kind of like, I'm here, and then you was like, you went with it, and I was like, all right, cool.
But here we are. Welcome back to another episode. Mark, how you doing? You said you had some stuff you want to get off your chest. Floor is yours.
Yeah.
I took enough with the intro.
Yeah, thank you for that. Today, I don't know what is in the air. I mean, like I said, I felt like after 4 o'clock, things just started going downhill. As far as my job, yeah, man, I'm telling you, I think I just need to get somewhere else because this thing is burning me out little by little. There's just little things that just adds up, and I'm like, I can't do it.
It's just not it.
Yeah, but
it's not it, fam.
Yeah, there was just this crazy lady that was there at the end of the night, and she was just going off. She had some money that she thought she put in her savings account. Turns out she put it in something else. That money's not there no more. So she came in just kind of like, where's my money at?
Where's my money, man?
Yeah, basically. And my manager's just like, yeah, you did this with that, and and it's not there. And she's just screaming. She's like, I had that day for a year, and now you're telling me I have nothing, and all of this. And bro, she was going at it for like an hour, and then it got to a point where you started. Like she ended up getting brought to a room and talked to my manager, but then it got to a point where you kind of started hearing her breaking down in tears, and you're just like, oh, now she's crying. Like I was literally talking to my coworker, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't know what like is going on with her. I'm like, I heard the same thing like 40 times. She kept saying the exact same thing, like I have my money in this account, and now you're saying like she kept saying the same thing. She
spent it, or like, is it just at another bank? Like
no, she put it in like towards her like credit card. So after that point, you can't do nothing about it. So it was like
that's the credit card. That's the credit bureau's part.
Exactly.
Right there.
And apparently, I guess she's saying that she like she said
needed it.
That she didn't want it to be there. Yeah, she thought it was in her savings. She's talking about she's had it in there for a year, and now she's saying like, oh, now you're saying I don't have it. And yeah.
How you not check your savings for a year?
I don't know. That's what I was saying.
I check it like daily.
Not even that. Right after that transaction, I would have just checked to make sure it was there.
Right.
Why are you waiting like now to be like, where's it at? Yeah, so that happened, and I was just like, it's not funny, but it was kind of just funny because like I said, she ended up like, you could hear in her voice, she started to like break down in tears.
You realized she just...
And I was just kind of cracking up because I was just talking to her about it. I'm like, she's over here saying the same thing, she's yelling, and the next thing you know, as soon as she started breaking down in tears, I was like, and now she's crying.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was going crazy though, because then she was saying like beforehand, like, we can like tomorrow, because at that point when you start having issues with like visa or anything like that, that's a whole nother department.
Right.
And at that point, they're probably already left. So we can't do anything for you today.
And it's Friday.
Exactly. You can come back tomorrow. Well, actually, she can't because I don't even know if they're open tomorrow, but Monday through Friday is when they do it, when they're open. So again, that whole situation, like, we can do for tomorrow. She's just over here like, no, you're going to stay open past 6 because I'm not leaving. And then my manager's like, well, you're going to have to, because if not, we're going to call the cops. And she's like, you can call the cops. I'm not leaving. And I'm just
like, what is that? Like, either way, no matter how you look at it, you're not getting your money back tonight.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, bro, nothing's going to get situated at this point in time. Like, you can yell at the top of your lungs as much as you want.
You fucked up.
Exactly. You fucked up. I know it's hard to hear that. And especially when it's something that has to deal with money, but it's gone. Like, I can't, I can't.
I'm sure she's stressed about something. Like, I'm sure she needed it for something important, but it's like,
it's just,
we just met you today, lady.
I mean, no, to be honest, she's been in there a couple times and she's always had issues a couple times. She's always starting problems. So,
problem child.
Yeah. She's an issue, but, she was just causing problems. And then after she had left, she was like in the parking lot for at least until we left, which was like probably like 20, 25 minutes. And we're just like, I don't know what she's doing out there, but like she's looking for some trouble.
If she thinks she about to get some money out of us, we off the clock now.
I was ready.
The name tag is off. Exactly. You don't catch these hands, lady.
I was ready. And she had called her husband, because the whole issue also was that there was, I guess, her husband who was like doing all this stuff beforehand of like the transaction and everything that I don't remember. I wasn't really there to understand what was happening. So I'm just giving you a summary. This could be all wrong. I don't know. But yeah, it supposedly had something to do with the husband. So then he came, not to mention she also had her infant baby with her. So, that was great because she's just yelling at the top of her lungs.
Scaring the baby.
With the baby right there. But the funniest thing is that the husband was like the calmest person in the world.
It's always like that.
And I was going to say the same thing too.
It's always one or the other.
At the end, my coworkers were just like, the husband was like so calm. And I'm like, I think that's every guy in any situation where the girlfriend or wife is really upset. The guy is just sitting there like, it's just, I know, I understand.
Because and there's other cases too where it's like it's the opposite, but it's like I'm sure he was at the end of saying like, yo, like this is not their fault.
Yeah,
like there's literally like this was all on us.
Yeah,
they can't do anything for us.
Exactly, like, especially at this point in time. Like,
and the proof is there. You know what I mean? Like transactions can get pulled up. They can show what happened. They can show if you authorized it.
Exactly. She's over here talking about I'm gonna sue you guys, all this, that, and I'm like, bro, I don't know about you, but as soon as 6 o'clock hits, I'm packing up and I'm getting ready to leave the door. I'm like, I don't care if she's in here, I'm out. But yeah, it was just kind of crazy. Like I said, she was waiting out there, and I'm like, bro, I don't know what she's planning on doing, but she's gonna catch these hands. She tried to stop me. It was a wrap. So, but yeah, that was really just about it as far as how my day was going. It was calm, cool, collective, through the day, and then that last hour and a half was just kind of crazy.
It's always like right when you're ready to hop out the door when somebody pops in on some bullshit.
It is, and I never understand it. And what's crazy is this has just been with me. Whenever I have something planned after work, that's when something wants to go on. When I have nothing to do, we get out there so quick. I'm like, wow, I can't even believe I'm already out this time. But best believe I got somewhere to be within the next 30 minutes when I know I need to be home. It's like 3 people have problems. There's an issue with the card machine. Our machine for dispensing money didn't work. I'm like, yo, why? Why is it always happen?
Yeah, it's been especially it's like, all right, like as soon as I get off, I gotta like leave immediately to where I gotta be.
That's what I'm saying.
And then it's like, oh, like at least in my job, it's like, all right, 5 minutes left, and then in those last 5 minutes, like I get a message or something like, oh, like you do. I'm like, no, bro, I have to go on the dot. Like
that's what I'm saying.
This ain't no time to be playing around.
And it's just like, and I feel bad because sometimes when things like that happen, it's like obviously you can't predict it, or if somebody else asks you for something, you didn't know that was going to happen, so you weren't even telling that person that's asking you, like, oh, I had something to do, because you weren't expecting to ask you something. But it's like, I don't try and get mad at you, but why are you asking me to do this for you?
Right.
like I need to do something after work or wherever I'm at. I can't help you.
Does it have to be for right now? No.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just my little intro of what happened, in the last like 2 hours, Yeah.
Speaking of people getting sued out their money, did you see this whole situation with The Blind Side?
I did see that.
Yeah, boy,
it's
Michael
kind
Oher.
of crazy.
Have you watched The Blind Side?
I did. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I've ever watched it from beginning to end. I think I've seen a good amount within the movie to really just understand it. they adopted him. You know, he was quiet. Eventually, they started to help him out, feel at home. He got on the football team. He started doing good. And then it kind of, yeah.
I've seen that movie so many fucking times. Yeah. They play it so much on TV. I don't know. I've like involuntarily seen this movie so many times where it's just like, it's on and I'm just like, all right, fuck it. Let's sit down and watch this shit. And it's, I don't know. I don't know what it is with me in that movie, but it just never not follows me around.
Yeah.
Miss Leanne Tui, Sandra Bullock.
When I started moving back into Franklin Street, my mom had the TV on and that was on. So as I was putting things back and forth into my room, I was just watching as it passed by. And that was the last time I've seen it. But I think it's a great movie, a good movie.
For y'all that are not familiar with the story, Michael Oher was a guy or a child at the time who like came from a rough situation, but he was like, came across this white family played by the wife played by Sandra Bullock, Miss Leanne Tui. He came across Michael and like they went to the same school and then, or not they went to the same school, he came across him and then they took him in for the night and then they ended up wanting him to be a part of the family, help them get into the school that they were in. He was a bigger guy, big enough to be like offensive lineman type football player, so they got him into sports and he never played before, but he was just a big dude. So it was just like, yo, like you're in high school, you're big, you just got to show up and you're going to be awesome. And it was just a story about that where he was good at high school football. They tried to get him into the biggest universities. And that was a beautiful story. He ended up playing for the Baltimore Ravens for a couple seasons. He didn't have like a too long of a career, but he still made it to the league and stuff, which is awesome. And that family adopted him like legally, so you thought. But that story was like from years ago, probably like during the 2000s this happened. They made it this whole big thing. The movie was a huge success. And everybody was just kind of sitting around like, oh yeah, like this is a beautiful football story. Like it's a, beautiful thing to see. And even the Michael Oher himself thought that this was all, this is exactly what the story was. But recently, I think it was like last week, come to find out, I guess he was looking through all the paperwork from everything. And Michael Oher finds out that the paperwork that he signed back when he was like 16, 17 to get adopted by the family was actually a piece of paperwork that allowed them to use his name and likeness and like be in charge of all that stuff to make money off of his name. So he was never truly adopted by them. They took advantage of him and basically, although they did, take him in and everything and treat him well, is what it seems like. The whole, I guess it hurts to hear that, like the whole intention was just to kind of capitalize on the situation that he was in. They were just kind of like, all right, like he's definitely gonna make it. Let's just clock in now. And all the money from that movie, he said he hasn't seen like a dime of it. It all went to the family. Supposedly the family opened like a bunch of businesses and they got all the royalties from the movie, and they've just really capitalized off of a lot of his work and his name and his story.
Treacherous.
Yeah. Really, really sad. Super fucked up. That must hurt too. Like, I know since then, even after he retired, there's been situations where like they'll bring him on to like he'll go to a Ravens game, like take a picture with the family, and it's like a whole thing because it's been a big story if you follow football for a while. And then this year to find out like, yo, like none of this is true at all. So now he's suing the family to make sure he gets his equal part. He doesn't even want all. He's just like, yo, like just give me what I deserve from the situation. And he's like suing them and having lawyers like make them come up with all the receipts and all the transactions that they've received in regards to the movie and all the other stuff that they made in the past and any other damages. So super fucked up. I'd be heated and super hurt. Because like why even bother me in the first place? But yeah.
Yeah. Insane to really hear that. He's a better man than me because I would have said, give me everything. I'm sorry. Yeah. Like that came from when I was a child, like maybe if it was something when I was adult and it was something very like simple and quick, like, I mean, like whatever, I guess, but to have this basically change the whole lookout of like how your childhood was, that kind of just sucks, like, again, he got treated like as if he was their own, but
then you start to think back, it's like, all right, damn, how much of this was like legit?
Exactly, and the whole intention, like, and then you start thinking about how they really looked at you, they didn't probably even really look at you like, oh, this is my kid. It's just like, let me feed
It's an investment.
Let me feed my asset because I need this thing, you know, like, and that's what's crazy to me about that.
And at least from the story, from the film, I don't know how much of it is accurate, but it seems like they were already pretty rich as it was, like, you know, as it is. So like, why even go to that extent? Like they were a upper middle class family.
I think what irks me about it too is that they were white.
Yeah.
Like that's just also because then they're just taking advantage of a African American kid who literally had nothing, but because they just saw the way he, I guess, his body build, all that, they just took advantage of that, and that's just kind of irks me about it. Like,
which they even hint at in the movie. It was just like, oh, like, why are you doing it? Are you trying, like, basically accusing them of what they did in real life?
Yeah. Wow, like I said, they're better than me, or he's better than me, because I would have sued them for everything they got. Like, you tripping? Like, again, the fact that he didn't see a dime of that, like none of
that's
that,
fishy. Like
exactly.
Even as family, like even as like, oh, even if the parents legally were owed all of it, I would still be like, yo, like this is your money too. Like,
exactly. Like I think that's just weird. Like why? Because we took you in. Like you just feel like you shouldn't get it. Like no, the hell. Because if it wasn't for me,
millions. It's still running on TV.
Exactly. If it wasn't for me, then you wouldn't even have any of this. Yeah. You know, like that's just kind of crazy. You know, I'm not saying you got to give me everything, but shit, give me something. But
and it seems like they did house him, give him clothes and everything. So it's like, yeah, like I get why he's probably like, nah, like fuck y'all entirely. Because like imagine if they, even as bad as it seems, imagine if none of that happened at all. Like he'd still be like probably in the street. Probably would have never made it to the league. Period. Never get to college.
See, I get that, but it's just the idea that I know in the back of their minds they never probably truly actually like
gave a shit.
Gave a shit. You know, like that's the part where to me I'm like I don't care. Give me everything because you like. Now I just start to think about all the moments, you know, maybe we went to parks or amusement park, like places. And I'm just like, oh yeah, I remember I had so much fun there. But then I'm like, wait, why did they take me there? Mm-hmm. Why did we do this? Why did they buy me these things? Because now I'm just like, maybe it wasn't really truly like their intentions. That's just the part to me that I'm like, you know what? I don't care for y'all. You know, we had something good back then, but it's like, you broke that.
Yeah, it's definitely unfortunate.
They blindsided me.
Wow. Wow. To the T.
Fucking assholes.
Yeah. Wow.
The hell.
That was pretty good. But yeah, that's definitely how he felt. Blindsided. It's fucked up.
Crazy. They literally did a movie title on him. That's wild.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of being blindsided, I know.
Oh my man, this man has a great transition. I'm setting this man up for everything.
You know what's my new thing now that I would like want to continue doing is just being like, speaking of this, and whatever I say next have nothing to do with what I'm talking about. But no, I was like, speaking of being blindsided, have you ever heard of there's this like author that's got really viral on TikTok, but like I've heard of his stuff before, but I never paid too much attention to it. And I've seen the book covers. His name is Quan Mills. Have you ever heard of Quan Mills?
I haven't, but that's an amazing name as an author.
Sounds like a Philly bull, to be honest. But
I thought of
Quilly.
No,
Meek Mills.
Quan, DJ, what's his DJ? Quan,
Rich Homie Quan.
Rich Homie Quan. There you go. I was like Quan something. Like what was it? Rich Homie Quan. That's what it reminded me of.
So yeah, he's an author, like top selling author. He's actually pretty popular. Has like a lot of reviews. But he makes like almost damn near like romance novels. Type things, like at least that's how they look, but it's like romance novel means like Tyler Perry type shit. I'm
so sorry, I don't want to cut you off. I'm gonna make it really quick. It's just funny because my coworker, he's just been telling me a lot of shit about the Boondocks.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm just
amazing show. It's on HBO, I think. It's on Max.
He just told me that, and I told him how I never really watched the Boondocks because back then when it came out. No. Wait, hold me out. Listen to
Hear me out.
Hear me out. Back then when it was on, you know, like, is it still running? No, right?
No. Okay. They were. So it's been gone for a while now. There were discussions of it coming back, and they were like bringing back the cast, and like people were ready to do it. But the granddad passed away.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And then I think there was just some like.
Wasn't that Witherspoon?
Yeah,
that's
him.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It's like from Friday and all those other movies.
Yeah.
The Wayne Brothers show and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Pops. But yeah, that happened as well. And then there was some controversy of like, I think either the writing or as well who was going to be the replacement of Granddad, and I forgot. I think they picked like fucking King Batch or some shit like that. I think I talked about it like months ago. Even though his son is like right there, like he was like, "I'll do it."
Yeah.
But now it's just not happening.
But anyway, so like he was just telling me about it, and I told him again, like it was just one of those shows that I guess I just didn't really get into when I was younger. It just, I don't know, which is crazy to hear because like I watch Family Guy, which is even crazier. But I don't know. I guess I just sometimes seen Boondocks and just thought it was really out of pocket. And I'm like, I don't think I could watch this.
There is not a single show out there that is the Boondocks at all. You cannot be like, oh, it's not like you know how Family Guy's like, oh, like Cleveland Show, American Dad.
Yeah.
Boondocks is his own category of show. And it's so perfect for that.
Yeah. So like, again, he was just telling me how he watched it. I told him I never really watched it. So he'll just be like telling me stuff about it. And I told him about the one John you sent me, the Tyler Perry John, the parody.
Oh yeah,
he's like, I love me some Jesus, and I love me some you. I was dying, bro. Oh my god. But yeah, I told him, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start watching that. I'm gonna watch the show. It's
a great show.
Yeah, because it's like it's really out of pocket. And then he was showing me another scene about how there was like a robbery at a convenience store, and it was 2 white guys, I think, and there was a cop in there. There was this whole like thing. And it was just funny because he was telling me how the white guy, the main like white robber, was voiced by Samuel Jackson, and I'm just cracking up because I'm like, why out of all people
they do that? All the creator of Boondocks has been on like a lot of interviews on like podcasts lately, discussing a lot of the decisions behind the show, and hearing him talk about it is amazing because it's like so many genius things or like so many things that happened on accident that they just ran with.
Yeah,
like right now you haven't watched the show like that, but there's a character in Boondocks called, his name is Thugnificent. And he's like a rapper, you know what I mean? And he's just like, it's kind of it's like his character's like hood rap, but also like the idea of like how some of them are kind of like Young Thug types, Lil Uzi types, type of like artists.
Got you.
And then the kids in Boondocks are kind of like, oh, like one of them likes Thugnificent, the other one was like, yo, like it's a little gay. And he like Thugnificent. He's like, yo, like Thugnificent is gay on the low. And then the kid finds out he's gay. He's like, does that make me gay? He's like, it make me gay, don't it?
Yeah.
But the reason I'm bringing it up is because Thugnificent, the character, if you look him up, I'll show you in a second. I was laughing because I don't know if you've seen Drake today, as of right now, like his post or anything. He has his hair right now.
Yeah.
Dead ass is Thugnificent.
I'm dead.
But
so that, and then another part he was telling me, or another character he was telling me, I can't remember his name, but I remember because I felt like somebody had told me this before. I don't know if it was you, maybe it was Curtis, because I know he watched that show a lot too. But there's just this one character, he's on the show a lot. The one boy where he said he has a fear of getting raped. Mm-hmm. And like that's just like his fear. And I just don't like, it's not funny. It's not, but it's like, I'm just like, why is that? Like, I feel like I'm dead. I feel like there's never a situation that much where you should be having that fear. And that's why I crack up about it.
Or the racist bull. Have you seen that racist bull, the crazy eye? I forget his name.
I think I know who you're talking about.
They play the same music. He is in the show like real life, like racist. Like he's like Tyrone Biggums. What's Dave Chappelle's character? No, that Tyrone is the crackhead. Mm-hmm. In the Chappelle show, there's like the one character that he's blind. He's a KKK member.
I think I know what you're talking about.
But it's literally like that, where he just says the most out-of-pocket racist stuff towards black people, but he's black.
That's wild.
You're going to love the show, I'm telling you right now.
Okay. I've always felt a little awkward because I know how, like, vulgar they could be.
And don't watch it around, like, your mom. So.
Exactly. Like, I know that's one of the reasons why I never really watched it that much, because at that point, I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to feel watching this. But I'm at a point where it's like, I can give 2 fucks. And I got to just appreciate and try to understand where they're coming from. Yeah. Because I know I'll enjoy the show if I do.
It touches on so many real topics in like a way that's like, it's still a comedy. Because like you could laugh at it, see it at face value as a kid, but like as an adult, you're like, yo, like they touching on real shit.
Exactly, yeah.
And they're doing it in a way that isn't cleaned up. It's just like, yo, like this is really like real life shit. And then there's the 2 kids. One of them is very much like the wilder one. And the other one's very reserved and like wise. Yeah, he's smart. And you hear them kind of like, then they're both from the hood and shit, but you still hear that like that balance.
Got you.
It's like, what's the other one? It's like I would understand if it was a real bull, but you lost your hold of Usher. It's like that's some fucked up shit, Mr. Dubois.
Wow.
And he's like, what else? He's like, how's that? He's like, how's that homophobic? I saw gay, so I said gay. And I say no homo.
Yeah, I'm dead, bro.
And then John Witherspoon, even his voice is perfect too. I'm gonna keep. I gotta get to Quan Mills because I'm not gonna be here all day. I love the Boondocks. Yeah. He's like, I got game. He's like, game recognized game, granddad, and you looking real unfamiliar right now.
Oh God, bro.
That show is so good.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a ball watching that show.
But I'm gonna read off a couple Quan Mills book covers. What's messed up is I've seen some of these in the wild, like in real life, bro. So it just makes it even funnier.
What do you mean, like you just been walking around and you seen it?
Like at somebody's house, or like I'll go to like an office and I see like the book cover there.
Wow.
Or like a dollar store. You know, they have that in the front. They got like dollar books.
Wow.
Dollar books. I don't know. Like that.
They got dollar books.
But there's some of the titles, and they have like 4-star, 5-star ratings with like thousands of reviews.
Wow.
I don't know since when Amazon started doing this, but they got like a point system. Anyway, Quan Mills. Here's one of his books. This hoe got roaches in her crib, an urban satire. And the book covers are hilarious in and of themselves. Like,
the man's stressed. Yo.
The other one is called Old Thought Next Door. It's about a 76-year-old lady. I tried to see if I could find like a page to read off of it, but I couldn't find anything out there. This one's called, I'm sorry for y'all listening at home, Pastors Eat Pussy Too. And it's like a pastor.
You know what's funny? That's something that you was talking about the other day.
Excuse me?
The other time.
Oh, yeah.
You were saying, yo.
I was like, wait. I was like, where was I?
No, this wasn't regular conversation. This is just another time on the podcast. You talked about how these nuns and everything, they have these intrusive thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Here's another one. It's called My Baby Mama's a Loser. I'm bull stressed.
And another one, bro. There's a lot of stressed guys out there on these covers. I don't know.
Here's another one. Tax Season. Thoughts in all caps.
How's that a title? It's like tax season, semicolon.
Thoughts. And it's like an acronym anyway.
Wow.
There's another one called CNA Thoughts.
Okay.
Certified Nurse Assistant.
What is with these thoughts? I mean, I don't.
I got one last one here. It's called This N-Word Got a Small Dick.
Thoughts?
No.
Oh, okay.
And that's the cover.
Yo, wait. Is she stressed now?
Yeah, she's stressed because he got a small penis.
I'm dead. She's doing the fucking...
He's cool with it. He's not stressed.
She's like, yeah, I know you like that. She's just looking at the invisible camera like, help me.
Yeah, and these like $10 a pop. Seems like he got good money coming off of these.
That's wild. I mean, like, bro, up to him. I mean, he's up right now. I'd be surprised.
I did find the back of the book of Old Thought Next Door. I'm gonna read the back of it so we can understand.
All right.
What if you guys are looking to buy a copy? Shout out Quan Mills. This is an old lady name. Meet Vernita Ernestine Washington, a feisty 76-year-old woman who doesn't care what you think about her ways, especially for a woman her age. Yeah, she might be a senior citizen, but she'd be first to tell you age ain't none but a number. She's convinced the honeycomb between her legs doesn't taste a day older than 40. Don't let the gray hairs fool you now. A retired employee of the Illinois Department of Motor Vehicles from the DMV, Miss Washington runs the mean, cold streets of Chi-Town, messing with all types of young thugs.
She runs?
Runs the mean, cold streets of Chi-Town, messing with all types of young thugs with multiple felonies. A widow for some time now, Vernita is determined to make up for her stale marriage. However, when a major health scare sets her back, she finds herself losing everything. Reality sets in that her time on Earth is about to come to a close. Now faced with a death sentence, Vernita seeks to live out her remaining days being the biggest old super freak. She gets her mojo back and begins living her life again. But a major surprising twist will throw her life into more unpredictable chaos.
That's crazy.
Nah, that don't make you want to buy the book. I don't know what else will.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. Like, in the beginning, it was kind of throwing me off because I'm just like, they were just saying how she's just... She freaky.
Yeah, Miss Vernita Ernestine Washington.
But I mean, once you tell me that, I only got who knows a certain amount of lifetime left, I mean, I'll do the same thing. I'll just fuck it and I'm gonna die. So I might as well.
You got it.
Exactly. So I mean, I kind of agree with that. But it's just funny because like I thought that was the end, and then next thing you know, you're like, oh, but then soon to expect something else is gonna surprise her. It's like, damn, like how much more can like her life's already done. Like, just to stop it right there.
That's how them novella type shits are, soap opera type shit. It's like
Yeah.
Plot twist after plot twist after plot twist over and over and over.
You think it's good, and then bam, got you.
Yeah.
Wild. I mean, I don't think I'll ever really buy a book. I mean, hey, if it's on an audiobook, maybe.
It is.
Oh.
It's available.
Maybe, because I don't think I could feel right holding that in my hand and reading it like in public. Like,
I'm gonna buy one for our plane ride.
I bet you Q would read the whole book within the plane ride.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not bad.
It's not bad, bro.
Vernita tripping.
She wild.
But
yeah.
All right, we out of time here. We're gonna hop up out of here. This was a good episode. Had a lot of fun. Yeah. I'm very appreciative of all the love we've been receiving on our way to 1,500 subs. So life is good.
Let's get it.
You guys really seem to like the Am I the Asshole stuff that we've been doing. So we're gonna try and make that keep continuing whenever there is like enough content to make it happen. So I had a lot of fun talking about it. So I think we should keep doing it whenever we can. We love you guys. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Peace.